Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw tips and tricks. Not that big a deal, but if you would like to put a space between something like this, so showing that these aren't lines, they're equally spaced out objects. Pretty easy, little fun project. I always make this shape by taking an ellipse and then holding down the control button and just make a shape like that. I take the Smart Fill tool and fill it in. Then I can move that out of the way. Now I can't really work in the center of the page on this one, but I'm going to left click, right click, and I'm going to grab this. I'm going to Control D and make a duplicate, double click and make sure it gets on that node. And we're going to rotate this 22.5 degrees. But I want a space, so I'm going to take this one and I'm going to go to Effects and Contour. I'm going to contour a little bit more like 0.2 this time to the outside. And I have that space. So now I can take my Smart Fill tool. I'm going to go and use that same blue. And then Control D and make a duplicate, double click on the rotation and move it to that node and rotate it that 22.5 degrees. And then just Control D all the way around and you have that space. And just kind of prove to you that it's not really there. Well, you can see that it's not really there. Object, order, back of page. So it's a transparent because it's not there. And there's, some other things you could do to this. We'll just play with it for a second. I'm going to take an ellipse, a little bit smaller than the original. I'm going to make it, let's make it blue. But then let's go to object, order, back of page. And you can't really tell anything by that. So let's make it a little bit smaller so you can see the space. And then it's selected, so I'm going to get the interactive fill tool, swipe across it, and then get the elliptical, and then bring this out. And you can, I don't know if you can tell what I'm doing, but then let's put this other blue in the center. Not that big a deal unless we made it quite a bit bigger. And that's the lines. It's not that big a deal. Let's go back and let's put a black in that center. There you go. That's my original circle. I could probably try to grab the circle or move this out of the way for a second. So what I could do is I'm going to hit P, put it back in center. When you can't grab anything, if you hold down the Alt key, it'll help you grab the item behind it. And then we can use the Shift key to make that bigger and let's take away the outline. And let's get back to the interactive fill tool and let's make it that blue in the center. And let's put a little black, a couple of specks of black. That's going to be overpowering. And then we can put the blue in between them. And see, that's kind of cool. Anyway, take away everything and zoom in and look at it. And I don't say that you're ever going to do that. And I'm glad that's pretty cool. I'm glad I brought that up because sometimes it's hard to grab that circle, but if you hold down the Alt key, it'll grab that circle. Well, it didn't that time. Let's make this circle smaller. See, and it's going to be hard to grab it, but if I hold down the Alt key, it'll grab that item. It's grabbing. Let me do this. I'm going to do the Alt, but then I'm going to move it. So when I click off of it, it's clicking back to the original. That's a pretty unique looking button just by chance. Anyway, hope that gave you a little information and thank you for watching.